Welcome to Fireside Chat. I am Maureen Brown, founder and Chief Learning Officer of Rock Diversity and Divigo. With me today is TCBN President Chris Campbell. Chris is a representative of Carpenters Union Local 27. Hi, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. In this series, we are going to meet some powerful trailblazers in the building industry. Unions, industry leaders, tradespeople, contractors. These change makers share two things in common. First, a commitment to making the building industry one where people of all diversities have opportunity to bring their skills and talents. And two, they are investing time, effort, and resources to making sure this happens. So pull up a chair by the fireside and let's chat. Hi, Chris. So here we are. We're going to hear about some of the amazing things you're doing in the building industry. And I'm just going to start off by asking you, tell us about Chris Campbell.
Okay, so today I'm the Vice President of the Carpenters Union in Toronto, and the President of TCBN and Carpenters Regional Council Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Representative.
Okay.
It's been a long journey, whereas I started off about 35 years ago, 2 years after I came to Canada from Kingston, Jamaica. Started off as an apprentice with some direction and mentorship from an old friend of mine called Frank Lake. So he pretty much told me about the apprenticeship system we have here and how to go about starting a career in the construction industry or trades. I am grateful for what he did for me, and I've had a modest career. I think I did well with what I was given as an apprentice. Went through the process of completing my apprenticeship, of working as a journey person, supervisor on a few sites, an instructor at the College of Carpenters when they were at 64 Signet Drive, worked as an area union representative for about 17 years, 3.5 years ago, I was appointed the Equity Diversity Representative of the Carpenters Regional Council during the time where George Floyd was murdered on television. They wanted someone to speak to the media about the nooses on site and the derogatory graffitis that was happening, and so I was up, and it was my time to speak, and I did it. And you have the various media kept coming to me asking my opinion on it, and I just spoke from the heart and talk about the good and the bad and the ups and the downs of doing an apprenticeship. Why I'm passionate about TCBN or mentoring or giving back is because someone held my hand at the beginning of my career, and it's my opportunity now to pay it back.
Yeah, when you started as a younger man, was it something that you grew up saying, I want to be in the trades, and so when you came here, you found yourself in, or did someone encourage you? Because there's a lot of young people. First of all, the trades, we know that they're not oftentimes seen as, attractive. People want to follow other professions. So what made you think trade?
I think it was going to happen. In retrospect, when I look back, it was going to happen. I was going to be in the trades without me even knowing it, because folks that I look up to growing up in Kingston, Jamaica, my uncle was an electrician. My next uncle was, I think, a welder. My dad was a carpenter who worked on a few major projects in Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay.
So when I came here, I wanted to be an engineer. I tried registering at York University, but when I got the estimate of the cost,
The cost, yeah.
I just say, this is not for me. I, went back to what I know, the trades, and it worked out for me, fortunately. But I don't regret going in the trades because, when you review today, when you review the wages that you'd make if you did a bachelor in engineering compared to completing 4 years in the trades, in the unionized construction industry, you'll make more, almost twice as much. So yes, I don't think I made a bad decision, and for the most part, I think I've lived my Canadian dream. Taking care of your family, your home, your vacation, your cars. Yes, I would encourage young people to see this as a viable option.
So along your journey, you became involved with TCB and the Toronto Community Benefits Network. Talk about how did that happen? How did you make that jump from, here you are a tradesperson, following your career path, and then here's TCB, and what caused you to get involved?
Well, we were a group of friends of us, like Cliff and Errol and probably Sean Blake. We were always volunteering to go back into the community and talk to youths. Okay. People always ask us, can you come to church with us? And after church, tell, the parents about how to start a career at the various unions, community centers, mosque. So those folks, after a while, they got to know us as union, and I think it was important for to have people that they can identify coming to their organization and just say, hey, or they want to hear the basic things, the academic requirement, how long does it take, what is the process, how does the government help you to progress in the trades, what are some of the difficulties, and it's a little bit different coming from someone that they can identify with. I sense that's why they ask you to come to their institutions to just tell them about it.
Yeah. And you mentioned, for example, mosques. So it sounds like, this work by TCBN, it's about, obviously it's wider than just, the young lad who came from Kingston.
Oh, yes.
It's broadened into attracting women and people who are some of the groups that TCBN supports to get in the trades.
Equity-seeking groups, Black, Indigenous, people of color, women, folks from the Hispanic community, the South Asian community, the Asian community. Okay. The door is open to everyone at TCBN. Right. But we mainly focus on groups that would have it a little bit more difficult getting in the door or getting integrated in the industry. Right. One of the first young men that got placed on one of the job sites on the Eglinton line, his name was Ahmed Abdi, and I remember getting interviewed with him at this CBC building downtown, right? Because they wanted to highlight that yes, TCBN works, and this is an example of a young man coming from Somalia that lived in a neighborhood that was finally getting a break to start an apprenticeship career on the Eglinton line. So it works, and it encourages you, motivate you to just keep going. He's one of many. It's not just an individual thing, it's a family thing, it's a community, a whole community that benefits. So, I'm proud of what the TCBN do, and I'm here to support as much as I can and watch them grow.
Some people see diversity as a political issue, or it's an ideological issue. How would you respond to someone saying, well, yeah, diversity, it's just, it's politics. It doesn't have anything to do with construction and business.
The benefits of diversity, I think it's one, you have a bigger pool of workers to choose from, and that will help you have the best group of workers if you widen your pool to choose from. And as a company, I think you should also look at it from the perspective, it's growing the local economy that you're building your project in. The socially correct thing to do. It's helping the local youth to have an opportunity. And like I said earlier, it's not just that individual, it's his family, it's the community, it's a bigger picture of doing the right thing. So yes, I believe in having a diverse group of employer that reflects the local community, so everyone will have a chance to earn a fair income and make a decent living.
I know that some of the TCBN communities served, some of them are from new immigrant communities. They bring skills and global experience working in other countries from the Middle East, India, Jamaica. And what you're saying is they want to bring this into the business to help the business become even stronger.
That's absolutely correct, right? Probably the difference is one group may have come after the war in the 50s, and the other group come 30, 40 years after, but giving everyone a fair chance to achieve their goals, their Canadian dream.
There are many young men and young women and young folk who are watching and listening. What advice would you give to them if they are thinking, wow, maybe I should enter the trades? If you had to give them one or two pieces of advice.
Well, my mentor, he went straight to the point. He says to me, Chris, by getting the license from George Brown, he did his certificate of qualification at George Brown. He says, by getting this certificate of qualification, I was able to send my kids to college. I was able to pay for this house. I was able to go on my vacation. And if this is what you're interested in, you should think about it. And for me, it was someone that took me in and have dinner with me and talk to me. So I felt connected. I felt that it wasn't an actor on television giving you a story. It was real. I didn't listen at first. It was about 6 months later, I came back to him and said, "Tell me some more." And at that point, he directed me as to how to enroll in an apprenticeship and the union, etc. And the rest is history. To young people, I would say, look, if you want to be a part of building this city, if you want to be a part of working on projects like the subway, which is going to be around for tens of years, if you want to be a part of projects like the Air Canada Centre, the CIBC Tower, building your local hospitals, building your local learning institution, be a part of the building the transportation infrastructure in the city, be a part of building the condos, the office towers, be a part of building projects like the house that you live in. And maybe 20, 30 years later, look back and say, I did that. I was a part of that. And if you're passionate, you should consider a career in the construction trades industry. You'll make a decent living. You'll have pension when you retire. You will have the opportunity to upgrade your skills through the union's training center. The benefits is fairly decent also. So it's something to think about. And go for it. Reach out to TCBN, reach out to the Ontario government, go on their website and navigate through it a little bit. Reach out to the local colleges, reach out to folks that you consider as or mentors in the field. Reach out to your community leaders that you respect, but don't stand to the side and say, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, when it's right there for you to just make that effort and go forward.
And I wish I was a young person wanting to enter the trades, but I'm not. But there are many others I know who are listening to you, and that is such practical and good advice. So thanks, Chris. You have been inspiring, sharing your own story, and now being in a position to give back and encourage other young people. You've been an inspiration for employers who, might, not be sure what about how diversity benefits them. And I think, as you just said, it's amazing, you're right, that if I helped to build this tower 30 years or 40 years from now, I'm driving with my child or my grandchildren and I say, you see that tower? I helped to build it. And it's not just, obviously, for me, and it's for everyone. So thank you very much for sharing your story. And thanks very much for joining in our chat. We hope you enjoyed this conversation with Chris Campbell from Local 27, Carpenters Union, and we'll see you by the fireside for our next chat.